Hey guys, it's me again. Today we're going to be doing section 6.1, multiplying a fraction and a whole number. So first things first, let's review what a fraction is. Well, a fraction is when something is not a whole, meaning that it's incomplete or a spillover. So for example, half, which is 1 over 2, is a fraction. So our numbers like 6 over 4 or 7 over 8. Now let's consider this. What if I were to ask you, what is 4 halves of something? What does this really mean? This is actually quite simple. 4 halves of something is basically just 4 of 1 over 2. So now let's look at our diagram. We have 4 chunks of halves. We want to find out the total number. What do? Well, 1 half plus 1 half plus 1 half plus 1 half actually gives us 2, or in our diagram case, 2 full circles. Example 1. What if this time I asked you what is 3 of 2/3? How do we approach this question? Well, we can actually use the same method as the previous slide. 3 of 2/3 is really just 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3. Looking at our diagram at the right, we have 3 full sets, each consisting of 3 blocks, 2 of which are colored. Counting the number of colored blocks, we find that 6 of them are colored. We can also do this question the mathy way. Well, 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 is really just the same as 2 plus 2 plus 2 all over a common denominator of 3. This is just the same as 6 over 3, which can be reduced to 2. Notice that 2 is consistent with our finding of 1 set plus 1 set, which is also 2 sets. Just a side note, remember to always keep the bottom the same when adding and subtracting fractions. Namely, we want a common denominator. So now that we know we can find the answer by adding fractions together, what do we do for more difficult questions? If I were to ask you what is 23 of 6 over 7, what do? Add 6 over 7 23 times? It would take ages to do questions like that. But let me ask you, what is 6 of 2/3? Well, previously we did these questions by adding them together. So what we did before was 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3. That's how we did it. Well, if you look at it, you might think the math is actually not too hard. So I could just really add it together. Why bother with a new method? Well, let's think of it this way. What if the question was, what is 1,027 of 2/3? That would take way longer. So we're going to do these questions with a much quicker way, by multiplying everything. So for example, 6 of 2/3 is the same as 6 times 2/3. Notice that this is the same as 6 over 1 times 2 over 3. What we can do is simplify the top and bottom. Looking at 6 and 3, we know that they're both divisible by 3. So what we can do is simplify by 3. Dividing 3 by 3, we get 1, and dividing 6 by 3, we get 2. So our answer is really just 2 times 2 over 1, which is 4 over 1, which is just 4. Now you have it. This question could be done much quicker. Just 6 times 2/3. Example 2. Let's say it's a weekend, and your parents gave you your allowance of $10. However, over the 2 days, you realized you spent 2/5 of it on pop. You want to find out how much you actually spent on pop. So first, what we have to do is realize that this question is actually asking what is 2/5 of 10, which is the same as 2/5 times 10, or 2 over 5 times 10 over 1. So like our previous example, we're going to reduce the top and the bottom. The 5 and the 10 are both divisible by 5. So dividing top and bottom by 5, this reduces to 1 and this reduces to 2. So just like the previous answer, it's going to be 2 times 2 over 1, which is just $4. Meaning that out of a total of $10, you spent $4 on pop. Alright, so here's your favorite part, the summary of section 6.1. Okay, so first, what we can do is add the fractions. But really, who wants to do it the long way when there's a quick way? And the quick way is multiplying them. And last but not least, when you do multiply it, remember that the top and bottom can be reduced. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys learned something and see you guys next time.